And Doug, I'm going to start with you because you are positive. What's the best thing about it?
I thought for the most part we were as advertised. We just made some really silly plays and took, the penalties took us out of pretty much everything, and it just came apart. Having too many men on the field, little things, but it's first week.
I guess that takes us to our poll question: what disappoints you most? And it's the penalties or the discipline?
Without a doubt, the penalties.
Yeah. And you?
Those almost go part and parcel, but I'll go the discipline a little bit too, because some of that goes with what you're supposed to do on defense, what you're supposed to do on offense, what your assignments are. Ray Maluga was exactly the Ray Maluga of last year, and that just cannot continue to happen. I'm not talking about the penalty at the end of the game. He's not a playmaker whatsoever. Did James Harrison make the trip, by the way? I'm just kind of curious. Was he there?
You're saying he was a non-factor?
Was he? How many tackles did he have?
So you're saying he's a non-factor?
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
I thought he did a good job. He absorbed some blockers there early in the game. I mean, he wasn't, he didn't have 2 sacks.
They didn't sign him to absorb blockers, though. They signed him to go make plays.
Yeah, the point of a linebacker is certainly not to absorb blockers,
Correct.
to make plays after the guys on the line absorb blockers. So you say that they are what you thought they were.
I think they are what I thought they were, and they're still a little young, even though they're a year older than last year. Most of the teams back. I think we've got a lot of good components, but I think we're gonna win a lot of games. We're gonna win 10, 11 games. Unfortunately, we let one slip away.
Are you putting this one on Marvin Lewis because of the lack of timeouts at the end of the game?
There's that, and the time management at the end of the first half was just horrible. I mean, you gave them a gift 3. Now, granted, Robbie Gould knocks one through from 58 yards, for goodness sakes, but you gave them enough time to go kick that field goal. So some of it, yeah, it is on Marvin Lewis. But I just want to touch on one thing real quick, Brad. At the end of the day, when you go and make 3 turnovers on the road, you have some clock mismanagement, all those things against a good team. And I think Chicago's a good team, and you still are right in the football game. I'm with Doug on this. They're going to win a lot of football games, and thank God they're in the worst division maybe in football.
And you wanted to jump in.
What I want to jump in is, even though there's clock mismanagement, at the end of the day, if we don't get the penalty out of bounds and give them 15 extra yards, they're not 15 yards closer. So all day long.
And that was an iffy call because let's face it. I mean, right. the Bears guy hit him first too.
Right. Pierman had one that blew up
the block in the back.
Punt return. I mean, it was just one thing after another. We couldn't get out of our own way. And honestly, you take away those penalties, we're a lot better.
Okay, and that's what I mentioned. This team going into the season really good on paper. I think a lot of people would believe after this game the Bengals are a better team than the Chicago Bears, and yet the Bengals lost the game. So when you say they are what you thought they were, let me ask you, can they overcome what they have been to provide a lot of winning games this year? Yes,
because again, this is on the road, and the Bears are a good team. If you make mistakes like that against a mediocre team, you probably win that football game. The Bears they're in a 10-win, 11-win football team. I think the Bengals are very much the same kind of team. And again, you're playing in a division where 6 games are against 6 bad to very average at best football teams.
Andy Dalton has been the question. It rides on his shoulders. His performance today?
I thought he did real well, except for maybe 2 or 3 plays. I mean, for the most part, I thought he did real well.
And you?
I thought he was really, really good. And the A.J. Green interception off his hands, that's A.J.'s fault. I mean, he's 26 of 33, and 2 drops are factored in. That's 28 of 33 in the opener. That's a pretty good performance. Opener, 15th game, 10-year veteran, whatever. He's going to make a lot of plays for this football team.
Very quickly, you're saying you're not disappointed other than the loss at this point, and nothing has dissuaded you from what this team is?
Not at all. I mean, I think anytime you go on the road in the NFL, you lose 3 points right there. I think we played them even though we won the first half, we lost the second half. The penalties killed us.
Absolutely the same thing. I'm not dissuaded whatsoever. I am disappointed in the loss because you had one right on the platter to take. That would have been a steal.